The zone wasn't capped. There's no penalties, just
aside, and it's just you. Getting that 52 to work and getting a triple.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to SWS, the Splat World Series REWOUND, where we took a look at matches that you might not have seen. So today, we are going to be looking at Let's Go Brother versus Aeternus.
Yeah, this is going to be in our Swiss round 1, our seeding stage for the playoffs bracket. So, how you perform today, how you end up in the standings impacts your seed on the second day. And, pretty strong teams here. Starting out in round 1, we got Let's Go Brother. Look at the X-Powers! 16,000 cumulative X-Power, a little bit more than that, coming out from Wilbo, Grandrel, Mista, and Sophie. And notably, this is a Splat Zones only tournament, and they're playing this double reef-sided composition with the Dreadbringer from Grandrel and the Dapple Cooley's new bow from Mista. But also they tend to play the double cooler composition as well, playing the red Dapples too, so this is a really quirky composition, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, I think it's something to definitely look forward to. But here we're taking a look at Aeternus. We have Ant on Blaster, Mini, and Zap. We have Jay on the Chargers, on Pen and the ZFs. And we see Reiki on the Sword. We see Punchy on also Zap and Splash. And we see, though Happy is on the roster on Pen, we may not see them today in this set.
Now, ZF's not something you see usually, no? It's either leader, pen, or bow. Just before bow got killed this patch, those were the main options. But Jay is mainly playing the ZF scope for us today, so that'll be an interesting sight to see. And of course, Captain Happy being a sub for the qualifier sitting out of this one.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm always really biased to see something that has strikes. I love strikes, so that'll be something interesting to take a look at. But here we see bans. Let's Go Brother banning Lemuria Hub and Eeltel Alley. Trying to take advantage of those, make sure that they can't play really well into the Charger here. And we see Aeternus banning Urchin Underpass and Flounder Heights. We've seen a lot of bans Urchin from the JP side, so I think it's really fun to see it from the Western side as well.
Yeah, I think both these teams don't want to go where those long-range backlines can thrive, Rather, they have a charge of their own, so they would like to go to a stage that doesn't completely screw over Chargers banning two that really don't like scope. If you're a leader and unscoped one, then you can bounce off the walls and still do some fancy stuff. ZF scope a little bit less mobile in exchange for that speed, so good choices to get rid of there. As we go into our first stage here on Umami Ruins.
Yeah, I'm excited, especially as you mentioned, with a different Charger, it'll be interesting to see the different types of play that we see, especially how they can enter the zones, the double zones with strikes or anything like that. That'll be really interesting to see what they have up their sleeve.
For full transparency, I'm producing this video while I'm talking, and it is awkward as hell. So we're loading to our first game here in Umami Ruins, and these are the competitions that we thought we were going to see coming out from these two teams. Notably, that ZF Charger is going to be staying, as well as the double slider. And while we did see that Soppy plays a lot of swords, they're choosing to play the 52 gallons today, so strong aggressive core for the side of Let's Go Brother.
Yeah, so here we start. We see 3 kind of going top mid on the side of Let's Go Brother, looking for anything off of pick, but unfortunately the Gal gets picked off on the side of Let's Go Brother, so they are kind of looking back here, but 2 also go down on the side of Aeternus, where Let's Go Brother gets to kind of move up here, and they're kind of moving forward. Grandrel here looking for something, but unfortunately gets picked off. So here with strikes, maybe Aeternus gets to push in here and gets 2 off of the side of Let's Go Brother.
Nice team fights. They're getting the kills, but they haven't got control of the zone in all of this scrum, and so they're starting to get a few more picks, which is sure to get them enough space to buy the zones. But in this first 50 seconds, they haven't applied any penalty points nor points of their own on the board. Finally capping the zone now, so they're gonna apply a little bit of penalty and start to hopefully get their own lockout going. Starting with the Zipcaster here, getting the pick onto the pen and onto someone else too, and then some conditional kills for their team ends up getting that whole wipeout for Aeternus. So this is definitely the start of their first lockout.
Yeah, they're starting to move up here, looking forward, looking for any more picks, especially with strikes up now on the side of Aeternus. But with the blaster going down, maybe Let's Go Brother gets to finally kind of move back in after that push where the points for Aeternus are ticking down, but they're kind of forced out of being able to push back into mid with the strikes displacing them, but they get this trade out with 2 going down on the side of Aeternus, so Let's Go Brother gets to move back into mid, 3 going down, splashdowns being popped, looking for jumps being camped here on the side of Let's Go Brother.
Such a good team up from Nispa and Soppy here, getting those jumps out and like jumping Jay from where they're trying to give safe passes to teammates. And now look how, because of that, look how far they pushed up into their spawn, setting up like this hold by their silo area now, applying pressure directly into their spawn, the range of their weapons. And they're holding on the specials too. Like they got Whale ready, they got Reef Slider ready, and probably a second Reef Slider, one going in now. And that just got like 3. So Nispa pretty much just, Granville pretty much just got a quad here. And that quad is gonna be disastrous for the amount of points that they managed to score here onto Aeternus.
Yeah, we saw, with the side of Aeternus where they were going up onto Let's Go Brother side, they weren't able to fully contest and control their silo, but here we see Let's Go Brother just still in their spawn with 3 going down on the side of Aeternus, so we see them being able to just hold front, and even though that we have 2 going down, our front's going down on the side of Let's Go Brother, and people starting to push back into mid, they're still holding on to the zones, and with 5 ticks left, it looks a little bit difficult for Aeternus to get back in here.
They had the picks, and a part of me thought that they might have gotten that game there, or at least gotten like neutralized that zone, but they end up losing that one in this first round. So that's gonna be Let's Go Brother up in the set now. But notably, this is playoff 3, so even if they lose this next one, they are still gonna be in it. They're not entirely out just yet. So now we're gonna be moving into the pick band stage again. Seeing where Let's Go Brother really doesn't want to go, and where Aeternus, out of the remaining stages ends up going.
Yeah, as we see looking for bands, looking for maps here, we see Undertow, Spillway, and Scorched Gorge being picked. I think it's the same thing, looking for kind of to even out the playing field, make sure that those one-shot chargers can't really get an upper hand here. And we see Aeternus looking for a map being picked and Museum being chosen here. And maybe that'll be the map that kind of allows their charger to get some strong picks off of here. And especially, I think, strikes as well being able to be used in so many different ways here.
Yeah, I think this is a really good choice from Aeternus. Like, you're thinking about the weapons that they have and how, the Stanford probably wants a little bit more space to work with. Probably we're pretty happy with the Umami too, so I feel like the snap is like decently similar with a zone that's pretty difficult to contest, and the terrain being something that their weapons like playing with. Notably, also Slider here is like really awkward, so 2 of their specials on the side of Let's Go Brother might face some issues.
Yeah, very difficult to kind of get those sliders onto those plats, but you never know. Maybe if they'll get onto those plats and they can hold that ground, because it's just flat once you get on and hold that control. So we shall see what both teams have in store for us today.
Yeah, loading into the second game now between Let's Go Brother and Aeternus. See what weapons they choose to bring out. No changes on the side of Aeternus, and no changes on the side of Let's Go Brother either. So, at least from the Aeternus perspective, first game was just a fluke. We're going to get these next 2 and win us this set here, Ink.
Yeah, here we're starting kind of 3 on the side of Aeternus, looking kind of for that right side for them, looking to collapse on this fight over here with kind of still, once again, a scrappy opening, kind of picks back and forth here, still looking front, anything that can help them out, looking for specials, building anything, and... Ooh! Yeah, you want to comment about that, Ellie? We see a pick going off for Aeternus.
Yeah, a pick onto Wolbo is incredible, because that's just going to be their stability gone. It's going to let them get so much more, ability to move around without the threat of a pencil doming you. Unfortunately, they're getting like pressured off the plat now. The slider coming out, gonna back them off now. And a fight in the corner means 2 goes down. It's just the zap on the right side and the J on the charger here in mid, getting backed off as well by Safi. So, pretty good opening play, but now it's starting to swing back the other way with Let's Go Brothers starting to get back here in mid.
Here we see a little scrappy fight happening here,
What the hell?
with 1 going down, Ant going down, and 3 going down on the side of Aeternus. So maybe this is, as I mentioned earlier, with Let's Go Brother being able to pop those sliders on plat, being able to hold all that space. But we shall see with here, Splashdown being popped on plat here, backing out Let's Go Brother from their plat, being able to defend that area for them and holding that area front here, as we see Ant trying to fight Grand Roll here, and they get a trade out here.
Yeah, so now we're just in a pretty neutral state. Like, our front lines on the side of Aeternus are down, so we're gonna have to hold off for just a second before we can get pushing again. And look how far off Safi is advanced, putting down that splash wall, letting Nispa and the Dapples jump right over. And do they see them? They're hiding on the plat right now. They're like right behind Jay, and they do manage to get a pick onto Raiki, who's moving in with the sword. And now we're trying to contest the zone while we're 1 player down. Fortunately, Jay just gets a pick onto one of the front lines on the left side, and that's just gonna give just enough ink to control the zone. But you know, it was a bit of a rocky push, and luckily it doesn't go in favor of Aeternus.
Yeah, with 3 going down on the side of Let's Go Brothers, they are able to hold that plat once again. We saw just Reiki going up with that Zipcaster, and now we see just holding plat, being able to push Let's Go Brother back, still getting picks off with Ant getting 2 here, maybe a third, yes, gets that third there on that plat, so Aeternus gets to continue holding front with the Charger in such a strong position, being able to pressure out all the players of Let's Go Brother, but grand roll here, Nispa getting a pick off on Aeternus here, looking for that side. Looking for more picks here, getting 1.
Yeah, it's just gonna be Ant left alone here in mid. Actually, on the enemy plat, getting jumps in, so that's gonna be Reiki jumping in, trying to close off this kill. Nispo getting away with like a sliver of their life, but everyone's jumping in right now, and maybe we shouldn't have. That fight goes a little bit awry. Reiki's still in the backline and ends up going down, and so you know, in that fight where they all ran forward onto the plat, Let's Go Brother, they end up rushing down Jay on the Charger and managed to camp all jumps back to them. So now it's just gonna let them get so far up into the plat of Aeternus.
Yeah, and even though that Let's Go Brother doesn't have the lead quite yet, they're holding such strong positions forward, and maybe this is it with sliders being able to be popped on their plat. We're kind of looking forward here with Let's Go Brother just still holding front, 2 going down on the side of Aeternus, still holding on, and Let's Go Brother being able to take the lead here with only 10 ticks remaining.
There's only 5 ticks left. The slider in the base taking down your Chargers is probably the last thing you want now, and that is going to be the deal sealed for Let's Go Brother, taking this set 2-0. Now, it is a play all 3, so the next one can change the sides a little bit for the sake of seeding, but that is going to be Let's Go Brother walking away with this one, and Aeternus with one last punch left in them.
Yeah, even though we saw the strong showing from Aeternus, they had just maybe one misplay, as we saw, as you mentioned, that they were jumping behind on that plat, and I think Let's Go Brother was just ready for it. They heard the call for one guy behind, and suddenly they were all behind, and so they're able to turn around and just collapse on that potentially devastating fight that could have been, but unfortunately for Aeternus, they were kind of knocked out of that before it even started.
Honestly, that was a pretty solid game from them, and I feel like it was just that one slip-up where they, you know, got a little bit overzealous and then left Jay to defend for themselves. And while that guy's goading on the sticks, he usually can, you know, stop whoever rushes them down. You know, the power of the 52 and the Dapple is a little bit too much for them, and that end up, you know, biting them a little bit in the splat. So, you know, we're gonna go on to this game 3 here, where Bluefin and Barnacle get banned, and now we're gonna take a look at what Aeternus ends up choosing for their last game this time.
Yeah, we shall see. It's been, you know, we think there's a map that goes really well for Aeternus, and I think they get really strong starts, but it's maybe holding on to that and making sure that they can really hold and make sure that those sliders don't collapse on them. And so we see Inkblot here, and I think it's kind of a similar situation where slider is a little bit difficult around the mid area, where there's a lot of places it can get stuck on with the mid block in the middle or the blocks around the sides, but once they get on plat, it might be a little bit devastating. So we shall see what they have going on here.
You know, no compositions and changes, and makes sense. Like, that last game was pretty dang close, so I've just played a teeny bit better, and we're going to be golden here. Look at the flank on the right side. Immediately saw him moving up so fast, getting jumped by the combo of Ant and Reiki. So, you know, pretty slow opening. But Wolvo ends up getting a pick onto Reiki, actually. So now there's one of the aggro's down, and they're going to be forced to back up a little bit. Now see on the left side pressuring the Zap away from the zone.
Yeah, we see on the side of Let's Go Brother that they immediately cap zone. What? They have just such strong painting here, and we see just a fight continuing to go on this left side, and 3 go down on the side of Aeternus. So even though zone was kind of neutralized here for Aeternus, they're still continuing the fight forward here. Let's Go Brother still on plat, looking for more picks. 3 once again go down on the side of Aeternus, with Nispa here looking to just kind of hold space forward.
Do you see how far up Wolbo was? Like, they got so many picks because of the aggressive core of that pencil, comboing all that chip damage, and ends up getting all the right kills. But also working for kills is 52 gallons in your face, taking down 2 and looking for a 3rd. Doesn't find the kill onto Ants there, but that's a full wipeout, and there's only 36 left, and they have 2 sliders ready to go. Like, you know, unless some miracle happens, this looks really over for Aeternus, and they're still getting picked up in their base. There's only 19 ticks remaining and not a whole lot of specials online. They can maybe get strikes ready, but it looks like they're just have to make a mad dash for the zone, see if they can apply it like a neutral to it before the game ends up ending. We threw out the strikes, but it's just not enough, and the slider hits the tower. Maybe shouldn't have said that. Ends up sealing the game here for Let's Go Brother, taking the set over Aeternus 3-0.
Yeah, that was incredibly strong from Let's Go Brother. They just knew all the right fights to take, and they were playing off each other's weapons super well. They're able to just chip each other, or chip the enemy team, being able to just collapse and then move forward right away, knowing what they want and knowing how to take it.
Yeah, I mean, it just snowballed so heavily. Like you'd want to see Aeternus take a little bit more of a stand, and they did like had a really good stand in the second game. Like that was really dang close. I honestly believe that it was just one misplay that cost them the whole thing. So you'd want to see a little bit more fight out of them, especially on their own counter pick on Inkling, but you know, it was just too dominant. Like 52 gal in your face, what do you do?
Yeah, you know, maybe the opportunity was just counterpick the gal yourself, but you know, they have their weapons, and as you were saying, just, you know, play off of each other well, and maybe you can see something happen. But unfortunately for Aeternus, Let's Go Brother was just so on top of it, making sure that they knew how to play off of each other on that map.
Yeah, really good team play coming out from these two teams in this first round, and you know, notably, like all the Western teams here are expected to lose. Like these guys are demons, 16,000 XP that you're going up against. Like I'd say is a pretty good fight, and this is only the first round of this Swiss stage, which we're gonna be continuing to rewind here. So that's all for this episode of Splat World Series REWOUND, and I don't know, goodbye.